Hi, welcome. I am Elena Poulet, and I am the instructor for the summer study class in Taos, New Mexico, DHM 4810. So Taos, New Mexico is located in northern New Mexico, as you can see here from the star on the map. In this area of the country is considered high desert, so it gives us the opportunity to study and capture images from the high desert. So it's a completely different landscape than what we have access to in Stillwater, Oklahoma. Taos is also known for their thriving artist community and their rich Native American culture. This class is in partnership with the Dole Reed Center for the Arts, which is a center within OSU, and its mission is to extend OSU's reach into the Taos, New Mexico area through a synergistic relationship with the local artists that are housed in Taos. So why Taos, New Mexico? As you can see from these photos, it's completely different than Stillwater, Oklahoma. Taos is considered high desert, so it gives us the opportunity to capture, study, and draw a landscape that's completely different than what we're used to here in Stillwater. So you can see the vegetation, the architecture, the colors, the mountains, the landscape. It's all completely different, and we don't just have that easily accessible here in Stillwater, especially with this adobe architecture, which is shown in the middle top photo and the lower left. It gives us opportunities for color theory studies and how we can see light and dark and create those images in three-dimensional and make them realistic for this class. These are some of the images that you will be creating. You can see we'll be doing some black and white studies as well as hand rendering, make those as realistic as possible. Create those drawings by using perspectives and the techniques of perspectives. So perspective drawings are illusions that trick the eye into thinking an image is three-dimensional when in fact it's drawn on a piece of paper, which is a two-dimensional surface. And so we'll learn the guidelines and how to create these realistic images of the landscape and the architecture local to the Taos area. And we'll explore 1- and 2-point perspective. We'll learn the guidelines of each of these different types and then when to apply and which one would be appropriate to use to capture the realistic view of what you're looking at. And then we'll even make it more realistic by adding color or rendering, and we'll learn the rendering techniques that are appropriate for that landscape and that architecture of the Taos, New Mexico area. If you were at the presentation, we went over the very basic guidelines of 1-point perspective. So the class itself is a 3-hour credit class. It is a controlled elective for DHM students, regardless of your option area, and we'll be creating those 3D realistic images of landscapes and architecture. And we'll find inspiration for that by exploring the area. So we'll be out, we'll go to parks, natural landscapes, we'll visit the museums, we'll rub elbows with the local artists, and we'll explore lighting, shadow, texture, and color techniques and create these realistic images. And then at the end, at the conclusion of the class, we will display the artwork in a student exhibition back in Stillwater in Human Sciences Building. Anyone can enroll. You don't have to be affiliated with the university, so feel free to invite a friend that perhaps goes to another school, your younger brother, sister, your parent, whoever you want to. It doesn't matter. The only stipulation is that the scholarships are only available for OSU students. So we're going to meet in Taos on May 22nd, and the class will go until May 29th. We only meet Monday through Friday of both of those weeks, so the weekends and the evenings are your free time, and you can do whatever you want to during that time. When we meet that Monday through Friday, we'll meet roughly from 9 until 4, depends upon the lighting, given that time of the year. And then on the weekends, it's free. You can do whatever you want to, as I mentioned. At the end, we will meet back in Stillwater and you will display your work in a gallery. So I keep saying this is an immersion class, and what that means is that we are not going to be spending pretty much any time in a classroom. We are going to be out exploring the area, using inspiration from the local museums, the local artists, be out in nature. We're going to look at color theories in the high desert, look at the different lighting situations on the time of day, and just really be out in the community. Field trips that we're going to do is meditation gardens, we'll go to museums, we'll go to the Rio Grande Gorge, look at that bridge. There's some really interesting perspective studies we can do with that structure and with the arch. And then we're also going to explore that adobe architecture with visiting the Pueblo community in northern Taos. We're also going to explore downtown. There's tons of museums, tons of art galleries downtown, again with that adobe architecture, and we'll be visiting that area, as well as cave dwellings. So these are awesome structures. The artists carved these residences out of the mountains, and they're intricate. They have all these design features into them, and the artists actually live in them. So we can do some great studies looking at the pattern, the texture, the light, the dark, and actually speak to the artist that carved these residences. We're also going to go to the Earthship. So this is an interesting structure that once was a residence, now is more of a lodge and a schooling. But you can see from the photo on the exterior, it has a lot of arches that are great for perspective and learning how to draw arches. And what the Earthship is it's a sustainable structure that was built completely from recycled materials and is off the grid. And the school that's housed there teaches individuals how to build structures using recycled materials and living sustainably and living and being one with nature. Weekends is completely up to you. It's free time. You can do whatever you want. There's a ton of outdoor activities within the surrounding area. You can even take a llama tour up to the top of a mountain. If you don't like being outdoors, there's tons of coffee shops, more museums. There's a big music scene within Taos. So there's really a lot to do within this area, other and besides just the artist community. So you're going to be staying at the Sagebrush Inn. This is it. It's double occupancy, and you will stay there every night of the 2 weeks, and breakfast is included. And so the cost of this class, without any scholarship, is $1,750, and that includes all of your tuition and fees. You're staying in double occupancy housing, and that is every single breakfast for those 2 weeks. So some other costs that you might incur are all other food, course supplies, which I'm keeping very minimal, all the excursions that are not class related, so if you go in the evenings or in the weekends, that would be up to you, and then travel to and from Taos, and then when we're there in Taos. So there are scholarships available. Notice the date, it is fast approaching. It's February 20th. Those scholarships are anywhere from $600 to $1,200. However, they're only available to full-time OSU students with a GPA of 3.0 or higher. You can apply for those on the Dole Reed Center for the Arts website. The website is at the bottom of this page. Make sure you go there, download the application, fill out the application, get an instructor to write you a letter of recommendation, and send it in by that February 12th deadline. And there is a high probability that if you would apply for a scholarship, you will get a scholarship. So please, please apply. It's there for you. It's there to help you and to fund you for this opportunity. And if you have any questions or need any further information about this class, please don't hesitate to email me, stop in my office if my door is open, and if not, then hopefully I will see you in Taos.